You're listening to How I See It, hosted by Han. You guessed it, that's me. I am here to motivate and inspire you with guests from all different industries and backgrounds. So get ready for personal stories of success, of growth, full of highs and lows, and of course, unapologetic realness. This is How I See It. You guys, I am so excited because Ali Grace is here, the founder of Ali Grace, which you all have probably heard of because it's huge. But if not, if you're living under a rock, it's a custom vintage Levi's brand available on Anthropologie, Forward, Revolve, Space, and then direct on their site, of course. I'm so excited to have her here. We have been connected for a while. We've had even maybe a drunk night together here in San Diego.
Yeah.
So now I'm excited to have a really, really amazing conversation with her and just for her to share more about her story and kind of the ins and outs of entrepreneurship. Ali, welcome.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming for sure. I'm very happy to be here.
Everything is in divine timing.
Yeah.
And I think that we're both so busy, and I loved that both of us were sending voice memos back.
Right.
Like, don't hate me. I have to cancel again.
No, for real. I remember the last time you canceled and like maybe 5 minutes before your voice note came in, I was about to text you and it was just like so perfect. I was like, oh my God, wonderful.
I feel like I'm actually like really on top of my shit. And so are you. Like you're getting shit done. You have such a successful company.
There's just so much shit.
There's just so much. And so sometimes I feel like I'm kind of flaky. Like people think I'm flaky, but really the chaos is just like, it never stops.
Yeah, I totally feel that. I feel like sometimes I overbook myself and then it's like, all right, when do I get to, just rest?
Yeah, never.
When do I do laundry?
Oh, I started folding and fluffing, like taking it to the fold and fluff.
Really?
Yeah. Podcast confessions here. I don't do my own laundry anymore.
Honestly,
I've been taking it to the fold and fluff because it's disgusting. I looked like an animal. It was like piles and piles and piles of clothes in my bathroom. And I have a laundry machine like in my apartment, but I just never did it. Honestly, never did it.
This is like a good suggestion.
Yeah. You just throw in your laundry with all the jeans in your warehouse.
No, for real. Honestly, we don't even have time to do anything other than the laundry we're doing. We probably do 27 loads of laundry a day.
We'll get into it. For the people listening, I want to start kind of at the beginning. Where did the idea come from to even do Ali Grace? Where did you grow up? Like, take us back.
Totally. So I'm from a tiny town in Massachusetts called Marion. I grew up in Dartmouth. It was like 15 minutes from Marion. Wow. Yeah, I tell a lot of people I'm from Boston, but I'm absolutely not. I've never lived in Boston. Sometimes I have like a tiny bit of an accent, but it's closer to Cape Cod. Okay. So I grew up pretty much on the Cape, but also people from Cape Cod will be like, you're not from the Cape, because I'm not from past the bridge. I'm like right at the bridge. But I started Ali Grace there. And I had been, customizing vintage jeans since high school. Like I did it for fun. I did it for friends. And then Was it just because you couldn't find jeans you liked? Yeah, I think I just had a crazy love for thrifting and specifically vintage. And then once I started to learn more about vintage, I got even more into it. Originally, Ali Grace, the brand's name was actually called Camelli, which is a fake word. I wanted it to sound like Italian.
Camelli?
Camelli, yeah.
I'm glad you didn't go with that.
Me too. But that was the first like iteration of the brand. It wasn't a business. It was a hobby that I was able to charge for.
Cool. You're getting like some extra cash.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like building my Levi's collection, thrifting, just like trying to, get the ball rolling, I guess.
And how old are you, Ali?
I just turned 30.
Okay, so this was kind of the era when like vintage Levi's were like officially coming back. Like Urban Outfitters was on a high.
Yes. What I do isn't necessarily extremely unique. There are a lot of like custom vintage Levi's brands out there, but I was one of the first to do it and do it the way that I do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're being humble, but I also think you're right. Like, I do think there is always a perfect storm for people.
Right.
You were filling a niche that was needed right in that moment.
Right,
was
in that
the perfect
moment.
Storm.
It was. It definitely was. And vintage has always been a thing. And vintage is 20 years. So every 20 years, what was made 20 years ago is now vintage. And I feel like back then, vintage was resurging. So I'm in high school. I'm doing this for fun. I apply to so many colleges. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I'm not doing anything with fashion. That's not on my radar at all.
Yeah, this was just a hobby at this point.
This was just for fun, yeah. And sure, maybe did I see that it could become a business, but it wasn't I'm doing this full time.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to go to school for computer engineering.
Yeah,
like,
I remember
was
you
like,
telling me that. Like,
yeah,
you're smarty pants.
It's a little bit of a smarty pants.
Yeah.
But I was like, die hard. I want to go to school for computer science. Like, I want, you know, to have this like huge career in mathematics. And math was like the number one thing I felt like I was good at in school. It didn't come easy for me, but I was like in AP classes throughout high school, and I just was like,
yeah,
I have to try really hard to be good at this, but I am good at it when I try really hard. And it was something that fueled me. It made me really proud. I did excel at it. So I was like, okay, this is the one thing I know like I can be good at. So that's what I'm going to go to school for.
Yeah.
So I applied to all these colleges. I didn't get into any that I like 100% wanted to. Like, I think I got waitlisted at Northeastern. I was kind of like really discouraged. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know like what school really, like nothing was sitting well with me. So what I ended up deciding to do was move to California and figure out, all right, I'm going to go to a community college. So I apply, I sign up for all my classes. I tore UCLA.
Fell in love.
Yeah, and like I toured so many colleges in California. I like fell in love with UC Santa Barbara, like all of them. I was like, I'll go anywhere. I just like want to be here. I found a live-in nanny job in Brentwood, and it was this beautiful home, this really sweet young boy. Like, I was gonna live there. That would be my full-time job. I think I would make like a couple $100 on, and, you know, rent's obviously paid for because you're living there and everything. So I like set up my life. I was like, okay,
you were ready.
I was so ready. I was so committed, and I was like, this is exactly what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna live out my California dream, and like eventually I'm gonna have an apartment with my best friend, and you know, this is gonna be like the dream life, and I'm gonna major in math and computer science. So I'm starting to miss home. I'm there. I have the job. I haven't moved in yet. And I was like, let me just go home and like see my friends for the end of the summer. And then I'll come back like a week before school starts. I go home. I don't know how long I was home for, but, you know, just like hanging out with friends and stuff. And then I unfortunately was the pedestrian victim in a hit and run motor vehicle accident.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I literally just kind of got chills saying it in that way. But yeah, 3 days before my flight to go back to California to start this life, to start this job, I was run over.
Oh my God.
And it was in a beach parking lot, and the driver and the occupants of the car fled the scene. So
my God,
laying there like fully awake.
Was this like the scariest moment? Like, were you in shock? Were you like,
dude, I can remember exactly how I went under that car, and exactly how I was feeling, and exactly what the sky and the trees looked like, and like how everything went into slow motion, and like the only thing going through my head was, this is not happening.
Oh yeah. Like, it feels unreal. I mean, especially because you like planned your entire life, you're home visiting, and then you get hit by a ran over by a fucking car.
And I knew it was happening as it was happening. There was nothing I could do to stop it.
Yeah.
So my legs went under first. They were backing out of a parking spot, so the like force of the vehicle like backing out kind of like twisted my body. So I twisted this way. So like my legs went under facing the car, and my body was facing away from the car. So they ran over my feet and my legs and a bit of my pelvis. So I shattered my pelvis. I dislocated my hip. I shattered several ribs. I bruised a ton of organs.
You see it in movies, you hear about it, you never think you're going to be run over by a car.
No, exactly. And going through something like that, like, truly makes the harsh realities of life like so real. So now, ever since then, like, I don't mean to sound morbid, but like I think of bad things happening almost in like preparation.
Yeah.
And it's super realistic to me. Like, I'm always like,
well, that's trauma.
Yeah. I'm always like, okay, like, how would I react if like somebody came in with a gun and was like about to shoot me and my boyfriend's right there?
Totally.
Like, I'm like, what do I do? How do I handle that situation?
Yeah, because you've been through a situation that like everyone acts like is never going to happen to them.
Yes. And until something like that happens to you, whether it's a car accident or like, you know, being mugged or getting caught in a fire, like, you're just like, oh, that's never going to happen to me.
Did someone call the cops? Like,
yeah, so there was somebody else, like, it was a beautiful day. It was like 3 p.m. So there was a family on the beach, and like to this day, like I don't speak to them often. I should speak to them more, but I do touch base and check in with them a bit, and they check in with me. And it's like, you know, a bit, their whole family. It was like 2 sisters, their boyfriend, their children, their mother, like they called for me, and they stayed with me until the ambulance came, which was pretty quickly.
So plans ruined. Like,
yeah, plans ruined. However, I'm crazy. So I have all those injuries. So they call a helicopter. The helicopter breaks. I have to wait for another helicopter. So I'm literally like completely twisted, waiting for another helicopter. They take me up to Boston. They relocate my hip. I immediately go into surgery. So I had surgery. I have 3 plates and 23 screws. And I immediately felt so much better. And so I'm like,
I love you. And I immediately felt so much better. I was ready to get back to my life.
No, I was. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to do online school at Santa Monica. And as soon as I'm healed, I'm going to go. Yeah. So I'm like taking classes in my hospital bed.
Oh my God.
Like a psychopath.
Well, because, and if I could assume this, and you can tell me if I'm correct, like, I feel like almost the trauma of like the life you had built for yourself being taken away was almost like worse in some ways.
For
and so
sure.
you're like in denial.
Right.
And you're like, I'm not going to face what just happened because I had this whole plan and now it's ruined.
Totally. And like my employer was going to keep my job for a while, like hold it. You know, she was like, you know, we'll have like a part-time nanny until you can get here. And that just didn't pan out. I couldn't walk for 6 months.
Oh.
So I was in the hospital. I ended up getting septic, which is a blood infection that was low-key like almost more dangerous than the car accident.
Yeah.
That I almost died from. Like very, very, very scary. 104-degree fever for a week straight. Very ill. Doctors didn't know what was wrong with me. And yeah, like my blood was just like poisoning my body.
So at this point, like, I can imagine that you are just like wanting to like give up on life. Like it feels like everything was ripped away from you. This is already so painful, so traumatic. I can't even imagine not being able to walk for half a year.
Right.
And then on top of that, you almost die from an infection. You're just left feeling what? Hopeless? Like what's the mental state?
You know what? To be honest, I didn't feel hopeless at all.
I was just like, I'm going.
I was like, I'm just dealing with this. Like,
in walks entrepreneurship.
No, for real. I like, not to say like I'd go through it again, but like I would to know that I was going to get here. You know,
well,
that to
in
know
hindsight,
that
it's
in
the
hindsight,
only thing that got you to Ali Grace.
Right. And I feel like in the moment, I did not realize how well I was handling it. And then post recovery, all of my friends were like, you were like not depressed. You were so like driven and ready to just like figure this out, get through physical therapy. Like I didn't even like really cry much, you know, it was just like, how do I get through this? That's it.
Do you think that that mentality stems from like your childhood? Like were you always like a tough bitch? And then were you always like entrepreneurial in that way? Because that's a very entrepreneur
like mindset. Yeah. I mean, as a kid, I was definitely really shy. I wouldn't say I was like a crybaby, but I was like probably more reserved and emotional, but I wouldn't say I was like this like badass little kid like at all.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe that was the beginning of me like becoming.
Are your parents entrepreneurs?
My mom is, yeah.
Okay. So you had like a really strong mom figure who was already like kicking ass in the business world.
Absolutely. Yeah. I definitely grew up with the entrepreneur spirit like built into me. Like it's literally part of my DNA. That's like all I saw growing up. But yeah, I just think that car accident really shaped who I am as a woman and as an individual to be able to overcome basically anything. And it plays a part in the way that I run this business, because it's like whenever something goes wrong, I know I'm going to figure it out.
Totally. When you've been like run over by a car, are you kind of just like, yeah, I can get through anything.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. And not to say that I don't like have anxiety or obviously imposter syndrome or like get down on myself and all that, but honestly, I kind of wish I could like draw the feeling of that year in a little bit closer to be able to like let go of more of like the struggles that I face as an entrepreneur. Cause it's like, it's really not that serious. It's really not that bad when you've gone through something like that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no. What do you feel like, before we get back in your story, like what do you feel like right now is the thing that you thought of like in this moment where you were like, I wish I could pull some of that like grit from the accident?
I feel like it's because I'm moving too fast. And if I just slow down and really think about it, it's like, whoa.
Yes.
Like, holy shit, I'm still here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm still here. I'm doing what I love. And I am helping thousands of women fit into jeans that, you know, otherwise is like this massive struggle in the world. And I know little me is so proud of that. And I probably never thought, like, during that time of my life with the car accident and everything, I never thought that it would, like, become this. Like, I was doing it then. Like, it was a hobby. It was a thing that I was doing. I just think if I slow down and, like, kind of zoom out and realize where I am and all of the things that I've done to get here, and I could physically not be here, like literally physically not where the brand is, but like me as Ali, I could not be here.
Yeah.
I could not have legs. I could be paralyzed. I could have brain damage. Like all of those things were so close to my reality. And if I just slow the fuck down and remember that, it makes everything a lot less scary.
Well, I love that you're bringing this up too, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with this because you're executing at such a high level.
Right.
And if you're not at the place where you have like hundreds of people working for you and like can do so much for you, you are doing like 20 million jobs.
Yeah.
And it's really stressful and your mind is like a chaotic mess all the time.
Yeah.
You're so ambitious and it's like go, 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 and you're on to the next. You don't even celebrate the wins. And then you get it's like so stressed.
Yeah.
And then you're like, why am I so stressed? And I think to your point, it's about like sitting in a moment of peace and just being like, wow, like I'm doing this. This is really impressive.
Yeah.
But I think when we don't do that, that's when we were talking about off camera, the Groundhog's Day, like you start to feel like you're in like Groundhog's Day and then it just doesn't stop. And then it's this vicious hamster wheel. And that's very anxiety inducing.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely makes me feel super neurotic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I just wish there was like 20 days in a week and then there's 4 weeks in a month. Like I wish there was more days, but then also you think about it and it's like what's a day? What's a week? What's a month? Like who cares what time is? Like just slow down regardless.
I know. I always say like, I wish I could take a week off, but everybody else had to stop too so that things didn't keep moving while I took time off. But I think that's us being incredibly hard on ourselves. And when I mean, I talk about this all the time in the podcast, like surrendering around relationships or your mental health or the way your path in life is unfolding. But I think in entrepreneurship, like I've learned that if I don't surrender, I actually inhibit my growth and success of the company.
Totally.
So I try to remind myself that in the moments that I like don't want to like let go or relinquish or take time off. I'm like, you're going to cause the company to start to fail if you don't do this.
Totally. I wish that we could just like say it to ourselves and then just like poof. Like we just do it and we take time for ourselves and we slow down and we develop this balance, but it's like a process of figuring out because we are so go, go, go and there is so much at stake and there are so many deadlines to hit and tasks to do and like we are only one person and we might have a team, but like you're right, it's not 100 people. It's a lot being a founder and an entrepreneur.
I think not enough people talk about it openly, and so I think it can be isolating when you're in it by yourself and then I think social media doesn't help because you're seeing all this success. Like you see the Forbes article and whatever, but you don't see like the crying by yourself like in the warehouse.
Yeah, and like the morning panic and the nighttime panic and like the heart racing that you can't slow down like for no reason sometimes. It's so nice to have conversations like this because not that I think I'm alone, I know I'm not, but it's just so reassuring and I know we're going to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's a part of like, I always say like the healing journey never stops. And if it was that easy where we could just like identify a trauma and then poof, it's gone, like all of our lives would be a lot better. And the same thing with this, like if we could acknowledge some type of like self-worth issue or anxiety or imposter syndrome, like mindset, and then just like poof, it doesn't affect us anymore. Like we would already be like not having to work.
Right, totally. And the dinner the other night, I'm like, oh my God, this made me feel like so fucking good to be able to like when we went around, like when everybody basically said the same thing, like I need to take care of myself.
We hosted, me and my client and friend Whitney hosted a dinner here at the Frame, and we invited like all these badass women entrepreneurs to come, and
so fun.
It was so much fun. But we all went around the table, and essentially what Ali was saying, like we all kind of said the same thing of what we need to work on.
Yeah, and like there were obviously like, you know, differences here and there, but everybody wanted to say the same thing. Everybody was like to piggyback on that, and then like a couple people changed theirs, but like I know everybody like truly feels that way. And it was just like nice to be vulnerable. And like, you know, I was just really raw and real with like all the girls that I was sitting next to. And everybody texted me afterwards. Like I'm literally getting coffee with like 4 different girls.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Take us back to how you stepped into Ali Grace being official.
Yeah.
So
which is
you can't
a whole
walk.
Another layer.
Yeah. So you can't walk. You're taking classes from your computer. You end up having to not do that, right? Because you get too sick. I'm assuming you apply back.
I don't know, just nothing really felt right. Again, in a wheelchair, like can't walk, I'm home now. And what I ended up deciding to do, which I can't remember if I had any sort of like sadness around this because like I had to let go of that dream. But I ended up applying to UMass Amherst, which is like one of the local state schools in Massachusetts. And it's a great school. It's a big school. It's not like my dream, but they had a really good mathematics and computer science program.
And you're like, I'm alive.
I'm alive and it's easy. It's here, it's home, it's close to home, it's close to my doctors. I think by junior year, I was like, not loving this. I don't want to be an actuary. I don't want to be a math professor. I really don't know where this is going. And UMass is so goddamn cool. And I'm so lucky that I went there and all of this unfolded the way that it did. They had this program called BDIC and it's bachelor's degree with individual concentration where you can basically make your own major.
So cool.
So cool. And you have to have a guidance counselor or a professor like sign off on it. You build your own curriculum. So I was like, all right, let me take everything that I've done like math wise because I basically already have a math degree at this point, and let me pair it with entrepreneurship, marketing, graphic design. My favorite class, and I honestly need to call Bob Lowry because he is like the person to thank for Ali Grace being where it is. So his class was creative entrepreneurship. Like that's what the title was. And it was a massive seminar. It was one of the biggest classes that I ever took at UMass. And he had us read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. He would have entrepreneurs come in monthly and speak to us. And they were all young, like UMass grads.
So cool.
Late 20s. You know, there were gym owners, brand owners, such an array of different people that would come in and speak to us, inspire us every single month. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what I'm going to do. Like, this is what I want to do. Fuck the math shit. There was a business accelerator in Springfield, which was a few towns away, called Valley Venture Mentors.
So it was like a program where like people who want to be entrepreneurs can go and like share their ideas.
Yeah, and it's like so much more than that. It's a startup accelerator. So it's like you enter, there's hundreds of people that apply. They only select like, I don't know, like 100 teams.
So cool.
And then every week there's like eliminations. And they like walk, like there's lawyers that come in, there's graphic designers, there's branding specialists.
Okay, and is it like a competition where at the end someone wins?
Yes, exactly. So there's like a top 12 at the end. Everybody wins money at the end.
So
and
cool.
I think the top, like the first place wins like $50,000 or something.
Wow.
He took the students there and I was like, all right, I'm going to apply for this.
And were you like, I'm going to do it with Ali Grace?
Yeah. I went through the accelerator. I learned so much. I met so many amazing people. I was one of the only women. There wasn't that many women in it. I was one of the youngest. There are these huge, huge ideas. And I'm like, I sell jeans. You know? So I went through the accelerator and I made it to the top 12.
Wow.
Which is crazy. And the last round of the top 12 is a pitch in front of angel investors, like real angel investors, like very Shark Tank style. And I am shitting my pants. Like I am so fucking scared. I have to convince like this panel of like super rich guys. I was very intimidated. And I did my whole presentation and I ended up winning $3,000.
Oh, that's awesome.
That like, you know, gave me the confidence to move forward with Ali Grace. And from there, I was just like, this is what I'm going to do. And I remember telling my guidance counselor, like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur and I'm going to do this full time. And she was like, I strongly advise against that. You need to get your master's in data science. There's a program opening up next month. I want you to apply. And I was like,
You're like, fuck no.
Yeah. I was like, thank you, but I'm politely not going to listen to that.
I love that you're telling this part of the story because I do think that a lot of people are at a place, maybe they're listening right now. How do you know? It's a risk, obviously.
Yeah.
And like you have to have the confidence to like execute in what you're doing. But you were so sure. How do you think people can know if it's the right choice for them?
I will say I think it had a lot to do with my age.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
like
that
the audacity was high.
The audacity is really high when you're 22.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I don't discourage anyone at any age from starting a business, but it obviously is a lot easier in your early 20s. So I guess I'm speaking to anybody who is listening that is, you know, in their late teens, early 20s, like now is the time to like hammer it hard because you have so much time to fuck up. You have so much time to like fail and get back up again. And that's not to say that if you start a business when you're 35 or 45 that you can't, but like in your early 20s, like that is literally when you're like supposed to mess up. Like you're not expected to be doing really much of anything yet. You're still figuring things out. So it's like, that was the perfect time for me to take the risk because I knew that I had the space to make mistakes and make a lot of them.
Well, especially if maybe you're not in your early 20s, but you don't have like a partner, you don't have kids. It's like, this is the time.
Yeah.
But I do think the longer you wait, the harder it gets. And I talk a lot about this with like getting stuck and having to make decisions. And it's like, if you wait too long and are thinking too long, like you start losing the audacity.
Yeah.
Because I started when I was, oh my God, the same age. I started my blog at 21, 22. People thought I was fucking insane.
Right.
Like, did not understand it. But I was just so like, I don't know. I was unapologetic. I was audacious. Like, I didn't care. I just like wanted to do what I was going to do and I was going to make it happen. I think that if you're trying to figure out if you can do something or start a business or move forward in some way, and there's any type of like back and forth, I would say like, then maybe don't. Because I think for me, like obviously there's going to be like normal fear.
Yeah.
But fear is just like a human thing. Like, I think that's normal. You have to be sure.
Yeah.
It's so hard that you have to be sure. Doesn't mean it's going to work out. It could fail and you'll pivot and do something else. But like, if you're unsure, it's very hard to muster up like the courage and audacity when you're unsure. You're not 100%.
Yeah, I get that. But honestly, I feel like I just want to tell people to fucking go for it. If you're unsure, just fucking do it. Like, don't think about it anymore. Just fucking do it. I have a few friends that have business ideas and I feel like they kind of go back and forth confidence-wise, which is like being unsure. But I'll have, like, my girlfriend Hannah, I am going to have a call with her tonight. And, like, every time I call her, we talk about it, her business idea, which is fucking fantastic. And, like, I amp her up.
Yeah.
And you really just need somebody to talk to like, bounce the idea off of, to be like, hell yeah, this is a really good idea. And to, like, build that confidence. Because otherwise you, like, second guess yourself. And I think that's where, like, feeling unsure about it comes in. Because, of course, we're all going to have self-doubt. But talking about a good idea that you have is what you need to do to like get the motivation to fucking do it.
Well, I agree with you. And I also think that like a lot of people aren't going to like to hear this, but I'm just going to say it. Like, it's not enough to have a good idea.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like you just have to do it. Like I see so many people that are stuck and they have amazing ideas. Like I wish everyone in my life would just become an entrepreneur because I think anyone could really work for themselves. But I've heard people in my space kind of being like, oh my gosh, like this person's doing this and like I could do it so much better. Or like this person's doing this and like my idea is so much better. And I always say like, the best people are not the most successful. It's the most audacious people that are. Like, you don't have to be the best or have the best idea or be the first to have the idea. You just have to be the first one to execute.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think it takes a very certain type of person to be an entrepreneur because it's not easy and it's not always fun. I wouldn't have it any other way. And if you feel like you are an entrepreneur inside, like you need to foster that and you need to do it.
I love that you said that because I do think like not everybody can be an entrepreneur.
No, agreed.
And it's like, I think it's dependent on how resilient you are mentally.
For sure.
Like, you have to be able to push through like so much. Like, you have to kind of like never let things keep you down, keep going, be able to like flex power over your mind because you're going to have imposter syndrome 24/7. Things are going to fail all the time. You have to be able to keep taking risks. Like you have to have a very intense resilience. Do I think everybody has that? No. Do I think people can build it? Yes.
Yeah,
and I think that's like a choice to do, but it's very uncomfortable. And I don't think people expect that part of the journey.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way in your own journey? I mean, you are very resilient.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have self-doubt like all the goddamn time. Like, I'm like, am I even doing this right? Like, is my business all of a sudden going to crash and burn for no goddamn reason? Like, just like absolute fear out of nowhere for no goddamn reason. I think you just need to have so much drive that it's almost annoying. Yeah. You know? Yeah. That like, that's just ingrained in you to just drive through anything. And like, that's what makes an entrepreneur.
I talk about this a lot. Like, you have to look back at your timeline and remind yourself of the things you've overcome and how you've pivoted. Right. Because there are so many times that I've had to, whether it's like emotional, mental, or in my business, I've had to like change directions. And it's the same way, like, even if you're trying to be like a creator on social media, like you can't have one piece of content forever. Like, you have to be able to learn the new app, learn the new trend, learn the new editing style. Same thing with entrepreneurship. Like you have to be able to, like when all of a sudden a part of your business doesn't make sense anymore, you have to be able to feel that, not freak out or let yourself freak out for like 10 minutes and then create something new.
Totally.
And like completely pivot.
I think this is such a great topic because so many people that I know, like in entrepreneurship, are afraid to pivot and they see, you know, changes as failure. And it's like pivoting is totally a part of entrepreneurship, and it's really important, and you need to like be ahead of the trends, be ahead of what's happening so that you can prepare for the pivot and execute it like gracefully. Yeah. You know, and Ali Grace completely pivoted when we turned to wholesale because I had to develop a standard size guide. I've only been doing custom my entire duration of running this brand. And now I'm like entering in this whole new world of standard sizing, but still trying to like stay true to, you know, size inclusivity and like what styles are going to work best for all these different body types that we've like, you know, been making jeans for all these years. And like that was a huge pivot. And I was kind of resistant to it at first, honestly. I was like, no, my brand's built on custom. Like, I'm only going to be on Revolve if I can sell custom. And it's like, how the hell am I going to sell custom jeans, like, fully at scale? Like,
wait, I love that you're telling this story. Why does every single entrepreneur have, like, at least one of these stories?
Totally.
Where it was
where
like,
it's like, no.
I feel like it's the first one that happens that's, like, incredibly anxiety-inducing. Yeah. And it's almost like, I talk about it all the time. Like, you have to, like, kill your ego in a way that's, like, it can't be perfect.
Yeah.
Like there has to be like some give and take to your dream with the creator. Like you can't decide like exactly how your company is going to like flow, expand. And I think I was also trying to control like exactly what my vision was supposed to look like and be. I mean, and it happens to me still. And I think the more you have to pivot, the less it becomes a thing.
For sure.
Like you just
the
do
less
it
you
naturally.
think about it. Yeah. You're just like, oh yeah, I've got to do that.
But the first couple are really hard because it involves like an ego death of I have to like change my dream, or like I have to learn how to do something new.
Yeah.
And you kind of, especially
or I'm doing something that's not my idea.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No. That's so good because you're like, what the fuck? Like, this isn't the mission. This isn't like what I'm passionate about. I had to do it. I've had to do it so many times for different things, but specifically when I started the agency, I was like, I'm just a creator and podcaster. What do you mean I'm going to start a social media? That wasn't like management company. That's not a part of the plan.
Right.
Thank God I choked that down and just did it because things have like expanded exponentially. Like we're sitting in the fruits of that. Like it's just ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous, but in the moment it's not. It's really difficult. Mm-hmm. How do you think, like, at least in the beginning, it sounds like it's more natural now, like you were able to get over the hump?
I mean, I truly think that it was like an ego death, and it was just something I sat with for a little while. And I don't think I like did anything specific to get over the reality of what wholesale was going to look like. It was just, how do I make this happen?
I think it's like accepting reality.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to like look at what you're doing and be like, okay, like I don't live in a fairy tale land. You look at people and like the prettiness of it all, and you assume that like everybody's just deciding they want something and then they get it.
Yeah.
But you don't realize like how much compromise is involved. You're not going to get 100% of everything you want.
Yeah, totally. I mean, things are never going to work out exactly the way that you want them to. You can do your hardest and you can push your hardest and like keep going until you get as close to what you were thinking as possible. But yeah, there's always compromise, and I think just like taking that not lightly, but like allowing compromise to be easy.
Yes. Like remove the charge. It's not that deep.
Yeah, it's not that deep. And like, again, goes back to my car accident. Like, not that serious.
That was deep. Okay, you know something I've really been struggling with, and it like triggered me as you were talking, is that like I started the same age as you, where I was like 21, 22, and like went straight from college into an entrepreneur. I'm now I'm about to be 29. And I feel like recently I've been struggling to even have like enough bandwidth to like keep up. And it's made me a little bit existential because I know how to deal with like burnout and bandwidth, and like I can rest and like get back into it. But it did bring up this thought for me where I was like, I'm not even 30 yet, and I am already so tired.
Yeah.
Do you feel sometimes that like, and obviously I'm so thankful for my journey and like being at where I am at such a young age, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Do you ever feel like we did it too soon? Like it feels like there's so much time left.
Yeah, like, oh my God, I have to do this forever.
Yeah, or I know we can pivot and change, and like I'm sure I will, but I think it's more of like, oh my God, not to be like morbid, but it's like life is long.
Life is
like,
long.
Holy crap, it hasn't even been that long.
Yeah, I think something to like combat that I'm trying to do in my brand and in my life and my workflow is implement systems to make things easier. And just staying organized, I think, is the number one thing to like prevent burnout, and just having your life be more organized is going to allow you to operate in like a creative way.
Yeah.
And enjoy the process and not be like, oh my God, I haven't posted in 3 days. Like now I have to come up with something last minute. Like whether it be wholesale deadlines or just like the whole flow of the way things work within Ali Grace, everybody can implement systems in their life to like make things run more efficiently. And that's not to say like be super neurotic and like everything needs to be scheduled, but like having a planned out schedule with like systems within that schedule that make things easier is just gonna like improve your quality of life so much.
I have never regretted optimizing.
Yeah.
I've been very stubborn to it, and it's taken me time, but like I've never regretted it. Like I went from like being the entrepreneur where everything was up here.
Right.
That was like 50 million things swarming around in my head at the same time. And I almost like was stubborn, like bragged about the fact that like I didn't need systems.
Yeah, it's kind of like a waiter that's like, I don't need to write that down. You know what I mean?
Literally, that was me.
It's like, I can memorize this table of 20. Your entire meal and dessert. Just tell me right now.
That is such a good comparison. That was like me. That was like the cocky entrepreneur at 26.
Yeah.
And then shit just got so real. And I finally was like,
it's more complicated.
yes.
Like
and
there's more.
Well, my lawyer friend was like, okay. I remember it like vividly. I was like starting to cry. Like I was so like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can't do this forever. Like if you want to grow, like you need to at least be like blocking out hour to hour on Google Calendar.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to touch a Google Calendar
No,
back
I'm like,
then.
I'm not a corporate girly. I don't want to do that shit.
Now, oh my God, I schedule my drinks with people. Like I live by the Google Calendar, changed my life. And then like recently, like a year and a half ago, I don't want to hire anyone. I can do it myself.
Right.
I don't want to give up any money. It was very like scarcity mindset around like hiring people for me.
I was the same way for
and
sure.
then boom, got an assistant. Boom, got another one. Boom, got someone else doing this. And I'm like making more money. I have more bandwidth. And so it's like about, I think, killing the ego, relinquishing control, and optimizing to your point, because the more you optimize, the more you can kind of like feel like you have like
some control.
Yeah, some control. And also like not so like neurotic. Because you're right. Like I feel like and I'm still very neurotic, but I feel like I was very like not well mentally. Like it was too much.
Yeah. And I also, when I just said some control, I mean like control over like your own emotions yourself, not control over what the hell is going on. It's like I can like control my nervous system and like actually enjoy my life now that I have all these people and all these systems that are like optimizing.
Well, it's interesting because I think the trigger tells us that relinquishing is not going to give us control. Relinquishing means we aren't in control.
Right.
But that's like a lie. I think giving up control and actually optimizing gives us the control that we think that we're losing.
Yeah, wow, this is like honestly such a good point.
We convince ourselves in our head that it's like, no, that's going to make me feel worse. But I think it's just uncomfortable.
It's just uncomfortable. Also, like we do need to give ourselves grace, because I had this conversation with a woman at yoga today, like just being an entrepreneur and being a boss. Like this is my first time doing this and no one's teaching you. You know, it's like you're learning as you go and giving yourself grace to like just figure it out as you go, and like you're not doing anything wrong. The way that you've done it, it will make you feel like a little lighter.
Yes. Well, I think that's a misconception around entrepreneurship, is that like a lot of people think that entrepreneurs have this like step-by-step plan and they already knew how to do everything that they're doing.
Yeah. Like somebody told them.
Yeah, or they
like,
learned it in school. Like I didn't go to business school, and I think half the people I know that didn't learn what they do now in business.
Sure.
Like I just think everyone is starting at a similar point. Like privilege aside, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even like, when we're sitting in this pod studio, like I'm not a videographer. I didn't know how to set up like microphones and cameras.
Totally,
like you just figure it out. And again, back to resilience, I think it's the people that have that mindset that are like, don't let the like unknown, the small things, the like emotional stress, the anxiety, the imposter syndrome get to them for too long.
Yeah. That's like
are the people that are successful. Because I can like accept like I have imposter syndrome. Honestly, like I don't know. I don't have imposter syndrome like a lot. I do feel like I am capable of a lot.
For sure.
But I think in the beginning, I had more imposter syndrome of like, who am I to post or share or talk to people in this way? Like, I'm just like a girl from Orange County. But I think to our point earlier, like the more you overcome and the more feedback you get and the more success you have, it builds up that audacity and like resilience so that you kind of can look at new things and be like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I don't feel like an imposter doing that. Like that's normal, that I don't know how to do that. No one knows how to do that. Like they've learned.
One thing I've learned being in the space that I am now, like working with like bigger companies and like just all the connections that I'm making, like nobody has it figured out. Like even the biggest companies like still are figuring it out as they go. And you know, you always think that everything that you see is perfect, and it's really not.
No.
It's really not. And it makes me feel so much better about the way that I'm operating and the time that I've taken to get here and the steps that I've taken to get here.
Well, and we're always our harshest critic too, because even when we were talking at that dinner and you were sharing, we were celebrating your amazing Forbes mention, which you looked beautiful in, which is like probably so surreal.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But you were talking about imposter syndrome. You're like, I don't even know like how I'm in this and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And we were all kind of sitting there listening to you. And it's funny because I listened to you and I'm like, you're talking about, before we got into the Forbes article, you're talking about like the processes and the warehouse and the manufacturer and like Forward and Revolve and all this stuff. And I'm listening to you being like, this girl is like so cool. She has it together. She is so successful. What a badass. Like she's like the top. Like, of course she's in Forbes. And then you're sitting there being like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then if you were to ask me the same thing, I'd be like, I literally don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm not sleeping. I'm just here, like doing what I'm doing.
I'm literally not sleeping. I'm just here.
I'm just here.
I'm just here. That like needs to be the freaking
I'm literally just here. Maybe that's the next merch line.
I'm literally just existing.
I'm literally just here. But I think it's the truth. I think we are our hardest critic because we're inside our head.
Yeah.
And everyone else looks at us just from the accomplishment standpoint and they're like, wow.
For sure. Yeah, I also feel like I love the press that we're in and stuff, but I definitely like, yes, attention is great, like to a point, but I don't like feeling self-centered at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's where my part of like, oh my God, like how is this, how am I deserving of this? Like almost accepting the opportunities that I've had makes me feel a little self-centered, and I don't know why I feel that way. You know, like I just should.
Probably for the same reason why we're not sleeping and we're overworking and we are achieving and achieving and achieving. I think it's like a lot of women struggle with this. And I think it's just like a core wound of like self-worth. Like you're getting self-worth from like being ambitious, but then you don't feel deserving of like credit.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like I guess I more so like I don't feel deserving of like mass amounts of credit. It's
even though you are.
Yeah, even though I know I am, it's just the response to it, I think, is what I have a hard time with. And like, especially when, you know, like the Forbes article came out, it got a lot of comments and I want to respond to every single damn person, but I'm like, oh my God, now I have all these DMs and like, I do need to sleep and like, I need to eat. And like, I don't want people to feel like, oh, I'm a brat because I didn't respond to their like, oh my God, congrats girl. But it is overwhelming. Yeah, I guess it's just kind of hard to take the praise. Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. It's hard to take the praise. It's hard to take the credit. It's hard to respond to it. And like, that's a whole nother layer here.
No, totally. I mean, I feel the same way. I think I'm really proud of what I've done.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
Not that. Like it's more so when people acknowledge it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, thank you. Like that's nice.
Yeah.
Like, and then they keep going and you're like, okay, are they like, I think this is maybe where my insecurity comes in sometimes, where I'm like, do they think I'm cooler than I am?
Yeah, like, that too.
And I think that's what it is for me. It's like, you're idolizing my process and like what I've done. That's very sweet. But also like, do you think that I'm like, have it together? I feel like I don't have it together.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm chaotic. Yeah. I feel like I'm not this polished. You're acting like I'm so successful. Like, how successful do you think I am?
Yeah.
Like,
no, you're hitting.
That sounds like an OCD spiral, but it really is. That's how I feel.
You're hitting the nail on the head for sure. I feel like also when I get a bit of praise like that, like I just like open up and get really vulnerable and like tell them like the raw truth of like, you know, just whatever.
Yeah.
And be a little more relatable, which isn't necessarily the best way to accept praise, but
I'm the same way.
But you know what I mean?
I think there's a pro and con. I think that the intention is rooted in a lack of self-worth, which is sad for both of us. Like we should be proud. I think the good side of that coin though is that that's the reason I started the podcast, is like people deserve to see the truth of like what is going on in your head and in business, and how it's not polished and it's not perfect, and this doesn't just happen because like I'm amazing. Like
exactly.
And so I think it's a twofold for sure. Ali Grace is like, I think it's the everyone brand now, but I would say there was a significant period of time where you like grew like crazy. It was like the jeans that all influencers were wearing. Like I remember I've been following the brand forever. Like before I even knew who you were, before I started following you, before I even knew you were in San Diego, I just remember seeing all my favorite influencers wearing Ali Grace. Do you feel like that was the major shift in like the brand growing and getting on Revolve and Forward and all of that?
Oh yeah, completely. I mean, I have 1,000 thanks to thank to Kelsey DePrima. She is the reason why we're on Revolve. She posted a TikTok haul of Ali Grace and it reached the denim buyer of Revolve.
Wow. That's so cool.
Like 100%. And all of those relationships that I developed, all of those jeans that I gifted, like I've said this in all the articles that have been written about Ali Grace, but you know, completely authentic. I didn't ask anything in return. I was just like, you know, I would love to give you these jeans. And, you know, once I developed a friendship, I would say like, hey, we're running a sale, like if you wouldn't mind posting. And everything was very, very organic and easy. I didn't pay for any ads, no stories, no feed posts. Like everything was just wear them if you love them and give me permission to repost if that's okay.
Yeah, and it speaks volume to the quality of product.
Right.
Because as a like creator and someone who gets sent hundreds and hundreds of things throughout the years, like you only post as an influencer like what you fucking love.
Right.
And it just speaks volumes to your risk to take to send out product that costs a lot of money.
Right.
But I think you knew that they were like amazing. And again, like the perfect storm, like everyone was looking for good jeans.
For sure. Like I was very confident in the product. I was very confident in the styles that I was sending, who I was sending to. And yeah, that word of mouth, like I think, you know, like we had probably a top like 10 to 20 like OG influencers like Jude Havens, Kelsey, Michelle Infacino, just like all also very like local to California. Like totally. A lot of these are like Southern Cali girls, which I do attribute like my move back to California being part of why Ali Grace like exploded in the way that it did, because I was able to tap into this like kind of local influencer network, and it just became like a web of Ali Grace influencers. Like everybody wanted the jeans. Everybody needed to have the jeans. I was getting hit up like with requests from influencers. It wasn't just me reaching out saying, hey, I'd love to make you jeans. It was like, hey, I just saw blah, blah, blah wearing these. Like I would love a pair as well. And it was just very, very natural.
And then how long from, because I know you got on Revolve in 2023, like how many years from that seminar and getting that like $3,000 little prize money to getting on Revolve?
That was 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. And I will say, in 2022, 2023, I set a 5-year intention / goal of getting on Revolve, and I did it in the first year.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank
Ali.
you.
I'm so happy for you. Like, before I let you go, please get into like some of the styles, like how it even works. Because I think there's like a little bit of confusion. Like you have wholesale now, but there's also customs.
For sure.
I'm wearing a pair of customs right now. You're wearing a pair of customs right now. I feel like cameras can't see it too much, but they're like the best jeans ever. I'm obsessed. You measured me drunk when we went out for drinks.
No, that was so great.
Because I was like, please measure me. I don't know how to measure myself.
No, it was awesome. But yeah, so there's 2 different sides of Ali Grace. There's one that's like fully custom, and that's like the bread and butter of the brand. That's what I started the company doing, and that's fully tailored to your measurements. So these jeans were fully tailored to you. We have a measurement guide on our website. We take, I think it's like 15 different measurements. It's your waist at 3 different points, your butt, your rise, which is from your crotch, not like this much in front of like your
you asked for
bone.
Pictures too.
Yeah.
Like Pinterest photos, everything.
Yeah. So like the customs is like fully, completely custom. So we take all your different measurements, your inseam, and then when you place a custom order, there's like a couple different ways that you can do custom. So you can click our best sellers, which is like our barrels, our Bridget, like the 2-tone barrel, girlfriend utility, wide leg, all of those, you can custom order to fit your body. Or you can make a completely custom order, like from scratch. You see something on Pinterest, you're like, oh my God, I love this. You select what color it's closest to. You can upload those inspo photos. There's like a million drop-down menu options, from distressing to the way the hem looks, to how it's tapered, to if there's waistline distressing, if there's like a little rip on the pocket, like literally anything. Yeah. Also, if you see something that isn't like on our drop-down menu options, like just add a note. We can literally do anything.
Because
like
you're hands-on every single one of these pairs of jeans.
Every pair is touched by me. Every single pair.
Which is insane to me, because this is why you're saying you don't sleep, because you guys are so big. Yeah. I can't even imagine how many jeans you're touching.
Dude, and yeah, like I'm saying, we literally wash like 15 loads a day, which is like 6 pairs per load. Like we're literally washing, you know, hundreds of jeans a week, shipping hundreds of jeans a month. I suggest customs all the time. If you have a bigger butt, if you're taller, if you're shorter, if you struggle fitting into modern denim in general, this will save your life. And we take the headache away of shopping for jeans that are just not made for you, and we make jeans for you.
I love this. Yeah. So good. And then you can get wholesale at Revolve too. Yeah. Which, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've tried. It's just not the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
they're great. I think if you have like a very I don't want to say normal body, but just like you're proportionate.
If you have like an easy time, like if you just buy a 26 in any brand that you shop in and like they all fit you great, like sure, you can do standard sizing, and that probably goes for any brand, not just mine. But aside from Revolve, I also offer standard sizing on my website, and like I do encourage people to shop like direct, because I am very hands-on, and like yes, we're hands-on with all the wholesale, but it's always good to support brands directly. All of the styles that are on Revolve, you can also buy on shopaligrace.com in standard sizing, and you can get them in custom.
So cool.
Yeah, so there's
Thank
two
you
options
so much,
there.
Ali.
Yeah.
I ask everyone that comes on the podcast, looking back at the journey, there's so much to go, but looking back at everything you've been through, the accident, being in the wheelchair, starting the brand, and now to recently being mentioned in Forbes and having like a whole team now and PR, like how do you see it? How do you see it all?
Every decision, every morning, every night, every moment that I have spent like carving out the details of this brand has led me to where we are, and I don't regret a thing.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Please share your socials and then where people can follow the brand, and then also shop one more time.
Yeah, so my business Instagram is at Shop Ali Grace on Instagram and TikTok, and then my personal is at Ali Aiden Grace. I don't have a TikTok, but that's it on Instagram. And like my DMs are always open if anybody wants to chat about business. If you have any business ideas, you just need some advice. I honestly like, I make a lot of friends through Ali Grace.
Love.
Yeah, and like I love connecting with young founders. Untouched Blooms. I've like, okay, wait, here, right here. This little like phone thingy. This girl, her and her dad make these. It's so freaking cute. I just like connected with her on Instagram, and I'm obsessed with her, and I'm obsessed with her brand. So if anybody wants to chat about business, I love connecting with entrepreneurs.
I love you so much. I'm so excited that we've become like friends. We don't really get to hang out a lot because we're both so fucking busy.
I know. We need to.
But I love that you're in the city and that you were able to come do this.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Too. You're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you leave here feeling motivated and inspired. Do not forget to rate and review the pod on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and don't forget to follow How I See It Pod so you can keep up with podcast updates and see who's coming on next. And if you're not already, come join the fam and follow at How Han Sees It. Thank you guys.